Now, here's the thing. Generational wealth is that state where you leave an inheritance for your children. That could be property, it can be money, it can be investments, and all these things, these material things that will make their life better, so to say, leaving for them an inheritance. But here's the thing, there's also generational baggage. So it's one thing to leave your children an investment, it's one thing to leave your children property, it's one thing to leave for them material things. It's very mindful. But it's also another thing to be very mindful about leaving them in a right mental state, leaving them emotionally secure. And what that means is that many of us have come from broken families, families that have failed marriages, families where there was emotional abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, there was assault, even families where we were forced to mature at a young age, maybe because of inevitable circumstances. Sometimes it's because the parents were not present, and so at a young age you had to mature, you had to grow into a role that was not for your age or not for your mental well-being at that time. And so what that means is that you missed milestones of just being a child, just casting your burdens to your parents and being the child that is playing around and growing and meeting their milestones, being an adolescent, being in puberty, and having that emotional security to be able to tell your parents how you feel, being able to be a friend to your parents, or your parents being able to be a friend to you, where you can tell them everything and anything and you feel safe, and they'll not judge you, and they will take care of you and make sure you are emotionally well. We have missed those stages, and so we were forced into adulthood and all the hardships that come with adulthood. As much as you're successful right now, there is a tendency for your childhood trauma to trigger, to torment you, to emotionally damage you, and you start to quickly realize that as a parent you're starting to transfer that frustration unknowingly or knowingly to your children. And what that means is that it becomes a cycle, it becomes a generational baggage, where from one generation to the other you're passing frustration, you're passing stress, you're forcing your kids to adulthood at a young age. And so we start to raise a generation of broken people that, despite the fact that you have left an inheritance for them, you have also left generational baggage, and it becomes a cycle. So it's very important as parents, now that I am a parent, I am a mother, and I'm growing in this journey of parenthood, I'm quickly starting to realize that as I build generational wealth, I also need to build generational emotional stability for my family. Tell me what you think.